and going through all that other stuff.
Mm-mm.
Hello, everyone. This is Dee,
Anky.
and we are here on this thing called life.
Life.
And we're going to be talking about albinism,
Mm-hmm.
fact versus fiction. We're also going to be allowing our guest, when she comes on, to address living life with the condition of having a lack of melanin in your system. Um, and it's very interesting to me, like when you did your live, how you mentioned we often see people with, that condition, but then how much do we for real, like actually know about
Not nothing.
albinism?
Not nothing. That's why I'm looking forward to it.
How much do we really, really know about this condition? So yeah, I'm actually um I'm actually looking forward to it as well. Until she actually gets here, I'm going to actually tag her.
Yo, I'm gonna tell ya. I think one of the things that in just waiting for her to join us or whatever. One of the things I think that we far too often take for granted or we just don't really think about is that um, it affects so much more. It's not about just the physical appearance. You know what I mean? It is so much
Hmm.
more.
You said a mouthful
Just
then.
and I think a lot of times people don't even understand all the different ways that it affects what it is that we do
Right.
or how it affects how we relate to people, how people relate to us,
Hmm.
how how people treat you.
Right.
Colorism,
Mhm.
colorism. Because I can remember when going down south. Let me tell y'all, this beautiful toasted caramel that I am right now. I ain't started out that way. And when I was down there in Mississippi, I did show didn't look like that. I didn't have I didn't get my toast until I went down south because
The sun is a little different down there.
it's a whole lot different down there. And coming from the upper East Coast and then moving to Indiana, and then it to go from New York to Indiana to Mississippi. Uh-huh. Like I said, I have my toast. Hey twin, I have my toast. Miss, this is your twin.
Mhm.
Until I went down
Person.
south.
Mhm.
So I experienced that. Like it was so funny to me because like the first time someone called me red or a red bone, first of all, being from up here, I didn't even know what that was. Yeah,
Yeah, because you
my
are a lot
bones is
lighter.
bones is the same color as yours. What you talking? Like your bones different than mine? Like your my bones got bleached? What happened?
You know what?
I'm just saying. It was different for me. So the first time I went down and like I said, I didn't have a toast. I wasn't toasted. I was
She wasn't
about this
honey wheat.
color.
She wasn't.
About this color.
She wasn't all the way wheat. She was honey wheat.
Listen,
She
I
just
was
a little.
unbaked bread. That's what I was.
You were not.
You know how bread's supposed to get a nice golden brown color? I ain't had it. So
Good evening.
so yeah, I mean, it was one of those situations. So colorism is real. So I can't even imagine having albinism and the way people would treat you
Hmm.
and how they would look at you and how so me just being at the time of a lighter complexion than the people around me, but and so the white folks is looking at you funny, the black folks is looking at you funny, and everybody. I mean, so
Mhm.
I'm really looking forward to our guest. I really am. I think that this is, and I have some albino people in my family. And I really am looking forward to this conversation. I'm looking forward to um, understanding a little bit more, and just from a different perspective.
Mhm.
I think that until she is able to join us, maybe we can
Yeah, we're gonna go
talk
ahead
about
and
some folks.
yeah, we're gonna actually hit into it, and then when she joins us, she can share her story. But I kind of want us to kind of start out with what you were just saying
Mm-hmm.
in terms of, like you were being called Redbone.
Mm-hmm.
And as it says, words can hurt. So
Mm-hmm.
it says it is unkind to call someone an albino. It makes people with albinism seem different when they are just regular people who have trouble with pigment.
Mm.
I'm gonna see if she's ready because she's actually behind the scenes. Let me. Um,
Hello, family. Hello, good evening, Justin. Hey, Key. Hello, Miss
yes.
Kim.
Hey, Miss Bree.
There she is. There's our guest.
Yes, this is Miss Bree. Hello, Miss Keon. Hey, Kim. Can you hear us, Bree? It's like, can you hear us? You can hear her, but let me see if she can. Let me see if she can actually hear us. Let's see. Can you hear us? Trying to see if she can hear us because she's. Can you hear us? But apparently she's having some
She's not
technical.
ready.
Yeah, she's having a few technical difficulties right now. Hold on, let's see. Hey, darling, are you able to hear us? Pull your headphones out. Bree, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to actually um pull your hear.
Hi, can anyone hear me?
There you go.
There we
Yes,
go.
now
Now
we
we can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. Cause I'm sitting there feel like, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Okay, she can't hear us. Can you hear us? Apparently not. Let me do this. Let me let
Okay.
her.
Well, while she's doing that, which one can I put there?
It whichever one you want to, darling.
Okay. So, how
Can
about we
anyone hear
start
me?
here?
Uh huh. Okay, let me take her off the screen. I'm gonna step off and I'm gonna hit her while you address that.
So,
I'm sorry. This thing called life,
this thing
y'all.
called life, how we do it, and it was real and uncut. So it says albino people are more likely to get skin cancer. They're usually considered legally blind. When people with albinism live in a dark skinned community, they are often made fun of because they don't fit in, and they are often beaten or mistreated. Now, I kind of touched on the fact just briefly of albinism and of colorism, and that is so very very real because I'm gonna tell you again, just from my own experience, that when you're different, or when you look different, or when you are not the norm, people want to, they tend to have things to say, and it's not always the nicest of things to say. Um, I just this is I'm just going to say this is one that is near and dear to my heart. I'm just going to continue to share while they get the technical difficulties worked out. There's a belief that a person or animal with albinism will become blind halfway through their life. This is not necessarily true. Albinism in fish is largely affected by the eggs exposure to heavy metal. That's interesting. When people have eyes that appear red, it is not because the iris is red, it's because it's colorless. And the red is the blood vessels showing through. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the first time I saw someone with red eyes, I was indeed concerned. And that's not being funny. That's just, it's one of those, off the screen, one of those where I didn't know, I didn't know about albinism. I mean, I knew that there were people who appeared to, not have the melanin, that I did. And at the point in time, I ain't have a whole lot. But, they didn't appear to have the same, the same melanin that I had. But
Well, here's an example of what you're talking about right now.
yeah, so there on the bottom, someone with, and it says red eyes, and it said it's not that the iris is red, it's just that there is no color there. So what didn't you say? That's the you see the blood. That's the
actually,
blood
yeah, that's actually the
behind their
blood behind
eyes.
their eyes. Yeah.
So
Okay.
um,
We're getting ready to test with Bree. We're sorry you all about having to do this live, but hey, darling, can you hear us now?
I can't really
Can
hear
you hear?
you.
You
It sounds
can't
like you're
hear?
mumbling.
uh,
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's do this then. Uh, let me make sure that I have the right mic.
that's always a good one.
Let me make sure I have the right
This
mic.
thing called life, y'all. Look, that is why this show is called what it is. Yeah, it shows that I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
How things happen, and so it just is what it is. That is why the show is called what it's
Truly.
called.
Can you hear us now, Bree?
No, ma'am, it still sounds like y'all are mumbling just a little.
Wow,
Hmm.
wow, 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 wow.
I'm not sure what that's about.
I'm not
Can you
either.
do the audio through a phone?
Yeah, because what yeah. So I'm gonna do is what you just mentioned.
So while they're working that out,
Bree, what I'm gonna do, and I told her that that would probably be what we would.
I'm going to continue sharing stuff because, like I said, this is one of those where I didn't know much about it.
Hold up. Are you Bree?
Okay, I can hear you now with my headphones in.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, I can hear you now. Hi.
Well, hi, and welcome to this thing called life. You see, my sister's very excited.
Yay, my Bree.
So,
Hi.
I spoke with you briefly, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is my government name is Nabrisha Patton, but I go by Bree. I am 24 years old and I am an African American albino woman. I'm married. I am a junior at Ashford University. I'm majoring in business and entrepreneurship. I'm actually a business owner, a legal business owner. Um,
Go on and make that distinction, honey.
I am the oldest out of four children. It is two boys and two girls. And I'm really not sure ordinary 24-year-old, most 24-year-olds, you'll probably see them out partying on the weekend. I'm not a party type person. I just can't get into it. My anxiety and depression takes over me a lot, especially when I'm out in public. I do not like going out in public, and I know that probably sounds crazy, but with me being a business owner, I do know I have to get out of that because my career choice that I chose. But I do not like to be out in public due to my anxiety and depression. And I hope I can kind of elaborate on that a little more later on in the show as to why I feel that way.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you for that introduction. I'm just excited that we were able to get the audio piece of everything worked out. We were actually, before you joined us, with the audio talking about the different, some of the different interesting facts of albinism,
Mm-hmm.
and where we were discussing, um, about the, the pigmentation of the, well, the lack of pigmentation, the eyes, um, you know, the fact that there are some people who don't have any color in their actual eyes, so they are, so they actually have us, thinking that they have red eyes, but it's not the case. So what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to maximize you on the screen for a brief moment, Bree, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you actually kind of share, um, some of the things that you have experienced as African American albino, because there definitely are out, people who live with albinism, um, in every culture, but we'll hit that a little bit later in the show. But I'm gonna maximize you on the screen and let you share a little bit about living with albinism. Okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, go ahead, darling.
Well, before I begin, I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. Um, a lot of people that are grown do not know, um, well, let me put it like this, have not educated themselves on albinism and albino people. So, one of the first things that I want to kind of talk about is, for me, and I do have albino friends, and some of us have all dealt with the same thing, and that is bullying. Um, I mentioned earlier that my depression and anxiety takes over me when I go out in public, and the cause of me being bullying is why. Um, I went to a couple different schools when I was growing up. The first school I went to was Pontotoc Elementary, and then I went there K through second, and then I moved to Ingomar, and I was in Ingomar from second to fourth, and then I left Ingomar and I went to South Pontotoc, and I was at South from fourth to sixth, and then my last stop, thank God, was North Pontotoc, which is sixth through 12th, which I graduated from there. Um, at all schools, I was bullied. I was bullied at every school I went to. I was bullied. But I did not catch it the worst until I went to North Pontotoc. That's when I caught it the worst. I knew I was different from everybody, but I was young and I didn't understand. So, um, when I went to North Pontotoc, I was tested a lot because I was the only albino there. Not to mention, I was the only albino that went to any school. It was always just me. I was the only albino there. But at North Pontotoc, I was really picked on. Around eighth grade, I started having suicidal thoughts because I was picked on so much. I remember it was a point in time to where I was riding the school bus and I had begged to be switched onto another bus because these two girls that I really wanted to be friends with, they bullied me so bad. And it just so happens that I was sitting in the seat with them. My assigned seat was with them. And I remember my suicidal thoughts started in 8th grade, and they continued all the way up until I graduated from North Pontotoc. Um, I graduated in 2015. My senior year in high school, no, let me take that back. My junior year in high school is when I had enough. I was just tired of the bullying. I remember I ran for homecoming court my 11th grade year. Still the only albino at the school at the time. And I didn't think I was going to get it. I just ran just for the fun of it. And luckily, I ended up getting homecoming court for my grade. I ended up making the homecoming court for my year, and I was so excited. And I just remember that was the first time in a long time I had not had suicidal thoughts, because for the first time I felt worthy. I felt worth it. That was the first time I had felt beautiful, was when I had got homecoming court, and I was like, okay, I matter to somebody. Somebody voted for me, you know. And I remember we had homecoming parade, and I remember I was on the back of the car and I was riding for the homecoming parade, and I just remember people when they saw me, they would boo, and but then when they saw the other girl, they were just screaming, because it was ninth through 11th grade. It was two girls per grade, so it was me and another young lady. She was not black, if that answers any question as to what race she was. But and then for 12th grade, you had four girls. So I just remember I was like, I felt kind of awful, and I remember the night of the we did the homecoming parade, and then after the homecoming parade, it was the homecoming pep rally and things like that. And so I remember they had lined all the people up that was on homecoming court, and they had us sit down on the field with the boys. And I remember they had went through and they had called my name, and when it got to my name, I just remember the whole football team booing when they called my name. It was boo, boo, and I just, people in the stands started doing it, and I was just like, okay, God, my thoughts are coming back again. I wanted to go home and hurt myself. I remember I went home. My mom had just had my little brother. My little brother was probably a few days old, and she had him out there in the cold, and she was supporting me. And I remember I went home and I cried and I cried and I cried. And at the time, my little sister Amaya was alive, and she came in the room and she was like, "Why are you crying? What happened?" And I was like, "Nothing, Amaya. It's not important." Y'all gotta excuse me if I tear up, because this is bringing back a lot of
We'll get
memories.
to that.
But she told me, she was like, don't cry, don't let what people say bother you. And my sister was young, but she was very wise. And I remember the next day I got up and it was homecoming. And I was so excited. I was so excited because I was like, okay, maybe, just maybe, today will change how I feel. Because I was really about to go to school and tell them, I don't want to be on homecoming court anymore. Can y'all give this to somebody else? And I remember I told my mama, I said, Mama, I don't want to do homecoming no more. I don't want to do it no more. I don't do it no more. She said, Why not? I said, Mama, I don't want to do it no more. I said, I feel ugly. Nobody's going to be there to support me. She said, Girl, you better get out there on that court and walk. She said, all this money we spent on this dress.
That'd have been my mama. Girl, you better get your ass out there.
She's that show. She said, "Girl, I done put my body through all the strain. I just had your brother too." She's like, "Oh yeah, you gonna go?" And she told me, and it's one thing my mama has always told me, and I will forever give her credit for this. My mama told me, she said, "Baby, God made you different for a reason."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "You gonna have a wonderful story to tell. God made you different for a reason." And I kept telling her, Mama, I don't know why he made me like this. Why did he make me like this? I feel like he did this on purpose. And she was like, "You might not understand now, but you gonna understand." And so I went to school. All my friends were so excited for me. They was like, "Girl, we can't wait. We're gonna be at homecoming game early." And I remember I left school early that day. I left school early that day and I went home and I got my dress on and I had just got my hair done. I had got my hair done and I was so excited and so I put that dress on and I looked in the mirror and I said, "Wow, you clean up nice. You really clean up nice." And I remember it was this little gas station right down the road from my house. And there was this guy that I was really great friends with. And he saw me and he said, "You look absolutely stunning. You look amazing." And I said, "Thank you." And I remember I went to school and, I met up with all the girls in the room that was, getting ready for homecoming. And when I walked in there, it was just like my anxiety started getting the best of me. I was shaking so bad. And I said, "Lord, I'm in here with all these pretty girls. What did I do to be in this position?" And my escort, and I remember nobody wanted to be my escort because I was bullied. I was bullied even in high school. I was bullied. And everybody that I asked to be my escort told me no. No, I would not escort you. I remember this one guy told me, "Why would I want to be seen on somebody's arm that looks like you? You look like an alien. You look deformed. Do you know
Hmm.
what that'll do to me? Do you know people would laugh at me?" And I remember this one guy, I never in a million years thought to ask him, but he came up to me and he said that he wanted to be my escort. And his name was Justin Gray. He was the sweetest escort to me. And I remember he walked up to me. He said, "Is that you?" Because in school I went by Shay. I didn't go by Brand School. I went by Shay. He said, "Shay, is that you?" I said, "Yeah." And I remember I had my head down. And he looked at me. He said, "Hey, hold your head up. You deserve to be here just like any of these other girls in here. If not, you deserve it even more." And when I
Mhm.
say I almost messed up my little makeup I had on my face trying to cry, because that was the sweetest thing I had heard the whole couple of weeks. And I remember I was walking on the field in some heels that I knew I couldn't walk in, but I was gonna break my neck that night if I had to. But somebody was gonna see these shoes. And so he told me, he said, "Shay, take the heels off before you and I both fall." I said, "Okay." And I remember
You can carry them
I
in your
was
hand.
the I was the last I was the last name that they called out. And when I tell you, when they called my name out, the standing ovation that I got, I saw all kind of signs. And I was like, "What is going on? Where was this at yesterday?" Is what I wanted to know. And so that was like when you are out when you are albino and you go to a school and you're the only one there, bullying is something that kind of takes a toll on you. Because believe it or not, I started going to ICC in 2016, and I was bullied there. I was bullied so bad there that I ended up changing my classes from traditional classes, which is where you sit in the classroom with everybody else, to online classes.
And for
That's just
those
how
that
bad I
don't
was
know
bullied.
for those that don't know what ICC is, that's actually one of the community colleges down home in Mississippi. Just
Mhm.
so people that aren't from there will be aware. But continue on, darling.
And I was bullied so bad. Oh God, I was bullied so bad. I started missing classes. I remember I would cry myself to sleep at night. I would wake up crying because I had dealt with it my whole life. I've been bullied my whole entire life. Whole entire life. I've been bullied. And yeah, so that explains my depression and my anxiety as to why I don't like going out. When I tell y'all I am terrified of guys, I am terrified of guys. Um at the when you first pull up to for those that have been to ICC out here in Fulton, when you pull up, it's a big building, and on the front of it, it's gonna say Student Services Building. I never forget it. It was me and a friend of mine. We were walking out that door because at the time I had my own apartment, so we were walking out that door so I can walk home. I saw those group of guys. I turned around and I went the complete opposite direction. I walked around the whole entire campus and took the long way home because that's just how terrified of guys that I am. And I know that sounds crazy for me to be married to a man, but when you are bullied so much and you're told you're ugly, you look like an alien, nobody's ever gonna love you, nobody's ever gonna care about you because of what you look like. Um, so I've
It
talked
takes a
about,
toll.
and it really does, and you start to believe those things. You really do. You start to believe those things. Um, I'm
Now I
24.
want to ask. Go ahead, darling.
I'm 24, and believe it or not, to this day I still get bullied. I do. I still get bullied to this day. And I feel like if I take a stand for myself, that I may black out because I've dealt with the bullying for so long. And, if you know me personally, I'm not a disrespectful person. I don't like confrontation. I don't like drama. I will cry before I have an argument with anybody because I don't like doing that. I don't like arguing with people. I don't. But to this day, I still get bullied. And that's why I choose to stay in the house. That's why
Mm.
I like being in my own home. Because, see, when I'm at home and can't nobody see me, can't nobody bully me. If I'm at home and I'm not on Facebook, I'm not on Twitter, Snapchat, none of the social media platforms, can't nobody bully me.
Yeah.
Can't nobody bully me.
Well, we have a question on the table. A young lady, Shantae, wants to know if she can ask, what are some of the things people have actually said to you?
Oh, okay. I've been told that I'm an alien. I've been called a deformed freak. Um, a lot of things I can't say because they are very inappropriate. Um, one guy told me that one guy told me that he would sleep with me, but I had to have a bag over my face because I was just that ugly. But he wanted to know what it was like to be intimate with the albino.
Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Um, I've had um I've had a young lady tell me that I look like the she said that I look like the tuna that you get out of the can before you add your mixings to it and stuff like that. I've heard that. I've heard that I look like a white piece of paper, the
Mm-mm.
copy paper.
Honey, stop.
Okay,
Stop.
here's one thing. It says, sweetie, you did not deserve that or this. Do not let people take your joy. Write your book. You have a voice. And then it's like Shantae, the one that asked the question, she was just like, my God, my
Mhm.
God.
And these are things that people are oblivious about whenever it comes to the topic of albinism and being albino. It's deeper than what a lot of people think. It's really deeper than what a lot of people actually think. Now there are some positive things about being albino, and I really want to talk about that
Speak on it.
because there are negative sides too, but I want to talk about the positive and then head back into the negative because it's a lot. One of the positive things about being albino is we don't need to wear makeup at all. We do not need to wear makeup at all.
You really don't.
Cause your skin is
Um,
flawless, honey.
Thank you so
Take it,
much.
look, take it from a makeup artist. Your skin is flawless.
Thank you
I'm looking
so
at you. Yes,
much.
yes, absolutely.
Another positive thing about us being, and this is something that's funny to me that I have to tell myself when I'm feeling down. We can play white or we can play black. It just depends on the situation that we in at the time. We got two sides to us if need be. That's just a little funny thing that I always try to throw in there. Something else positive about us is how beautiful our eyes are. We have some of the prettiest and rarest eyes that you will ever see.
Yes.
I've had a lot of my aunt, she told me all the time, she said, "Good if I had eyes like you."
Girl, look, my twin got look. You got my twinging over there. It's like, see, this right here has caused the ugly side to
Listen,
raise
you
up
see, I
within
done,
me.
you see,
It said, she said, when we rolling out.
look, you see her sitting over here rubbing my legs. Y'all don't even understand. So I'm one of those people. I'm very chill. I try to be
It's like,
very calm, and I'm sitting
like
over here rubbing my legs and rocking, and I'm like, okay, I'm not
calling
looking at the
on
screen.
Jesus. It's
You
like,
see that?
yeah,
I'm not even the religious one. I'll be like, Jesus, I'm
and
gonna
it's
need y'all to step in.
yeah. Janetta has said, God does not want you to hide. You have to live despite your experiences. Live your truth.
Truth, honey, live
And
it.
it's like, so my twin Demetra Pitt says, thank God for the good, because the bad was turning me. And
Man,
so Shantae says, do not give your power away, my sweet princess. You deserve
thank
to be
you.
seen and heard and live your life to the fullest. I want to
Absolutely.
see
Thank
you
you.
do an empowerment photo
Photo
shoot,
shoot,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And you know what? I
And I'm
have
gonna tell you,
somebody
I was
down
about
there
to
that
say, and
could
I'm gonna
do it.
tell you right now, give us a week.
It's
Okay.
like, look,
Give
look,
us a week.
look. Twin said, Key, call me, girl.
Yes, honey. Yes. We're gonna roll out. We're gonna take a road
um,
trip. Cause look, y'all don't see
something
me over
else.
here. I'm scratching my head. I'm twitching. I'm scared. Oh, give us a
Something else
week.
that
We're
I
gonna do
find really amazing about albinos is that the fact that we are so rare. You're not gonna see too many of us, but when you do, honey, you better snap a picture because I'm telling you, we here and then we gone. That's it. We're so rare. Now I really now those are the positive things. Now I want to jump back into
Hold
kind.
up
I
before
want to
you.
jump back.
Hold up. I wanna hit on the fact that even though you live with albinism, you found love.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. This part makes me really, 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 really happy because when I think about what I've been through, um, I
Oh,
have, I have, had guys tell me that they were ashamed to be with me because of what I look like. I have, believe it or not, I have, and I was gonna give up on love, even though I was very, very young. I do want to say this, if you don't mind me saying it, because I think it needs to be said. Um, Being young, I was sexually abused because of the fact of um, I was albino, and the person that did it had never seen an albino, never been around an albino, and this person really hurt me so bad, and I thought, okay, this is wrong. This is wrong, and I hope this is not what I have to go through. So when I got older and I started getting interested in guys, the first guy I ever had a crush on. I went to kindergarten with him, but I saw him years later because his aunt owned the daycare that my siblings were going to. And oh, I just wanted him. I thought he was so cute. And so he said, "Yeah, I'll be your boyfriend." I said, "Okay." I was happy. I was all on Facebook just posting. And I noticed that he would only talk to me when he was by himself. And I asked him, I said, "Are you ashamed of me?" He was like, "No, no, no." We had made plans to go out to the mall. Of course, it had to be supervised because I was like 13, 14 at the time. So it had to be supervised. And he lied and told me he couldn't come to the mall with me because he had to clean up his room. So I go to the mall anyway and I see him there with someone else. That hurt me bad. So, my ninth grade year, I started talking to this other guy, and he started off being so sweet to me at first. He started pressuring me to have sex with him around my 10th grade year. The summer going into my 10th grade year, he started pressuring me to have sex with him. He said, "No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm scared. I don't want to get pregnant. I'm scared." And he was just like, come on, come on, come on. Needless to say, I did not. But he stuck around, and the whole time he stuck around, he was cheating on me. I brought up homecoming of my 11th grade year, me being on homecoming court. Um, he was supposed to be there because I was his girlfriend. He was supposed to be there. He was not there. Instead, he came to homecoming with another female that he was cheating on me with. Came to homecoming, and I remember, and I'm smiling because this always makes me so happy when I think about how good God is. I was this close to killing myself. But my thing was, in a relationship, my heart leaves before my body does. My heart and my mind are gone before my body. October the 6th. I would never forget that day. No, October the 5th. I would never forget that day. An old friend of mine called me and she said, "Girl, I got my brother on the phone." I said, "Girl, call me back, call me back." She said, "No, I'm a three-way y'all in." And before I could cancel, I heard the most handsomest voice on the other end of that phone. And at the time, I was 16. And me and him got to talking. And I told him, I said, "Listen, there's something you need to know about me." He said, "What?" I said, "I'm albino." He said, "I know what that is." I says, "Okay, so if you're gonna run, run for the hills now, because I'm telling you, I'm albino. If you're gonna be ashamed of me, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. We can end it right here." He said, "No, why would I want to run away from something like that?" He was like, "You're albino. You're rare. I know what that is. I have an albino cousin."
Mhm.
I was like, "Okay, God, you playing with me because this is crazy." And he called me. He was like, "You looked beautiful at homecoming. I wish I would have been there." What? You saw my homecoming picture? And we talked and talked and talked. And on October 7th, he asked me to be his girlfriend. October 7th of 2013. I will never forget that day. Um, I was scared. I was scared. I thought he was gonna be ashamed of me because at the time my teeth wasn't the straightest. I mean, they're not the straightest now, but they look a whole lot better now than they did back then. I was like, this boy ain't got no albino cousin. He's just trying to get into my undergarments. No, he does not. And I told him, I said, listen, I said, I'm albino. I want you to know that. He was like, you don't have to keep telling me that. And for anybody who don't know who I'm talking about, I'm referencing my now lovely husband of 2 years because we've been together 2 years, and we've been together 8 years. I'm sorry, we've been together 8 years, married for two. And his
Mhm.
name is Demetrius Patton. And when I say he saved me from a lot because I was so broken when I got with him. And I remember the first time, because I made him wait like a year, almost 2 years before we had met each other. Because I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. He used to try to video chat me back then. And I was like, no, I don't want to video chat. I don't want you to see me right now. And he was like, "You gonna have to let me see you one day if you want me to, you're gonna have to let me see you one day." And so one day, it was after we graduated. We met up at the mall in Tupelo. And I remember the first time I saw him, I
He
cried
is
because
a
I was like,
city
this boy
girl.
gonna leave me. I said, this
He's
boy
a
gonna leave me. And when he saw me, the first thing he said was, "You so short." That was the first words he ever said to me. And if you know my husband, you know that's something he would say. You so short. And I said, I'm not short. And I remember I held my head down. And he told me, he said, we don't hold our head down. We don't hold our head down. That's not what we do. And I remember he told me, he said, you're going to be my wife one day. I said, boy, we just graduated high school. You ain't studying marrying me. And boy, was I wrong. Because he married me. He married me. And
And went
I
through hell
never
to get
been,
to this point.
man. Oh my God, we've been through so much.
Yeah, a journey. But let
It's
me
been a
catch you up
journey.
on yeah, let me catch you up on some comments. William
Okay.
Janetta says those men were not designed for you. Your husband was. Then my twin says, um, she is absolutely beautiful, rare like a unicorn. There is power in embracing who you are and whose you are. I don't know you, but I'm praying that God will open up opportunities and do exceedingly abundantly that only He can. Then you have the comment from my beauty where she says, you are so gracious and so lovely that I wouldn't expect anything else but for you to find true love. And Elder Joanne, she said, blessings to you both. And she speaks to everyone saying hello. And you've got some, hold on. While you were talking, people were throwing up the hearts and it's like thank God for she had
Thank
hearts with
God for
the
the good.
thank God for the
Absolutely.
good, and then Shantae, she's got the laughing faces with the heart emoji, the emojis with the hearts, and then she also put up the hearts for the black love with the hugs and the hands up in the air, and everybody, Demetra, she's dancing because she's happy
Yes.
for you. Beatrice is saying that is so sweet. Like when I tell you, people are just celebrating the love that Demetrius is talking about. That's beautiful, and she was saying that it's like where's it? Okay, the right man comes by God to restore. Yes,
Yes, Hunty. Yes.
Bree,
Hey, I believed it.
your
I don't know
picture.
where yeah, my picture is gone. I don't know what happened. It
You
just disappeared.
disappeared.
I
She
don't
might
know
have
what
had a message
happened.
come through and
I
don't
tell
realize
you
it.
what, do this while go. No, don't go out. 'Cause I'm scared to have you go out after everything we went through to
Right. Get her there.
get your voice. But it's like oh, the peace I hear in your voice.
Absolutely.
And Demetrius says beautiful. And Elder Joanne was like gorgeous. She is beautiful, and she's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful soul. You all, and I know the young man that she married. And when I tell you, they have endured a lot to get to the point that they are actually at. Bree, um, well, I tell you what we'll do. Are you able to? You're still able to
Okay.
hear it, though, right?
Hold on one second.
Okay. Well, while she's doing that, I want
Okay,
to ask.
hello.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm back.
I don't know what happened to your picture, but we're just gonna keep going forward.
Okay.
Um, Now, if you want to try going out and coming back in, you can,
Okay.
because okay, we'll do that. But while she is actually doing that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit some of the interesting facts. It's like let me take that off of the screen, the comment first. And ooh, okay, I have something, a gnat or something
Okay.
that is irritating me. It says albino people are more likely to get skin cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Many albino people are considered legally blind. When people with albinism live in a dark skinned community, they are often made fun of because they don't fit in. Albino people are often beaten and mistreated.
Mhm.
And, that was kind of what I wanted to hit with Bree being on the screen. I wanted to kind of hit the piece about being legally blind. Um, and, because that is actually, if I'm not mistaken, Bree, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking, isn't that one of the conditions that you actually deal with?
Yes, ma'am. It actually is, and I'm so glad we get to talk about this portion because this is really important. Um, I was born legally blind. Um, when I came out, my mama was like, wrong baby. This is not my baby. What's wrong with it?" And I had to tell her she's albino. And when they broke it down to her, one of the things that they stressed to her is she is legally blind, so she won't be able to drive at all. And my mama never handicapped me because I was legally blind. What I mean by that is I never was in no special ed classes in school. I sat there and I took notes like everybody else. I was in normal class like everybody else. I got up. I was able to dress myself, fix my own food, and because when I tell people I'm legally blind, they're like, "Well, how you seeing me?" No, I'm not legally blind like that. I'm legally blind, but it's a different kind. Like I can see everything on the screen just fine right now. But when I was growing up, I was legally blind to the point of it affecting my driving. It affected me taking notes in school. Cause if I was to sit on the last row in the back, I wasn't getting none of them notes down. I was getting maybe the first word, but the whole thing of notes wasn't gonna happen. And when you're legally blind and you're albino, when you get older and you see your friends getting new cars, your friends being able to hop in their car or hop in their mama car and go somewhere, and you gotta call people to say, "Hey, can you run me here? Can you run me there?" You gotta hear so many different things. I mean, even with me being an adult, and I don't like feeling like I'm a burden to people, and me being blind the way I am, that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm a burden when I gotta call my grandmother who lives all the way on Tupelo and I'm in Fulton. That's about a 25-30 minute drive. Hey Granny, can you take me to Walmart to do some grocery shopping? Sometimes it's the yeah, I take you, but then other times I have to sit and I have to hear and this is not discrediting anyone, but sometimes I have to hear, "Well, I don't want to take you," or "I don't feel like it," or um, something of that nature. And that really hurts me. Because to be honest, I don't like being on other people's time. I don't. And I remember a while back, even with my husband, I tried to tell. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody was being rude and calling me. But I even had to tell, I had to tell my husband, you know, before we got married, I said, "Look, if you want to run for the hills, you can run, and we can talk about
Now.
later. Cause it's a
Mhm.
lot with marrying me. It's a lot that's gonna come with marrying me. Meaning, when I need to go somewhere, you're gonna have to be the one taking me, cause I'm gonna have to go. So you're gonna have to take me." And I mean, my husband, I will say that I am really the luckiest woman in the world to have a man like I have, because he could work 14, 15 hours and come home and I have a doctor's appointment. I may be a little late getting there, but I'm going to get there because he knows that it's not just me being lazy and not wanting to drive. But I will say this. And I thank God because for the longest I have been trying to get approved to get my license. I went to so many different doctors. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a doctor's. I went to the retina center over in Tupelo, and the lady told me, she said, "Well, Miss Patton, you can go ahead and take your permit test because your eyesight has improved." I was beyond excited. I
All
could not
right
wait to get to the car. I called my husband right there in that doctor's office because I always wanted the roles to be reversed when it came to driving. Sometimes I want to be able to take him lunch up there to his job. He done been on his feet for 6 hours already. And I want to be able to take him lunch. I want to be able to say, you know what, babe, don't worry about it. You just got off work. I'll run to the store, pick up the things that I need for supper tonight. I got it. Your bath waters ran, going, I want to be able to do that. And I feel like me being able to take my permit test is the first step in me doing that.
Hmm.
Because for so long, I just felt like I was a burden. I felt like I was a burden and I wouldn't be able to do like everybody else. So
now. Yeah.
that's one of the things that come along with albinism is now all of us don't have to deal with it. Some albinos got better eyesight than anybody else that I know. But then you have me, the ones that are like me, that need they're called bioptics and they help us drive. So
So it's
that
basically
I believe when you have a great
it's a case
support
by case
system,
basis.
then things will fall into place.
Yeah. So it's like a case by case basis when you're dealing with the different issues
Miss
of
D, I cannot hear you at all. I don't know what happened.
how
I can't hear her.
you can't hear me.
Hello?
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Uh
Oh. Well, you keep talking. She said,
Mm-mm.
can anybody else? Uh oh.
oh.
Well,
She went
she
out
went
to come
out
out.
thinking it was. Can everyone else hear us okay? Because it may have just been her
Earbud.
headset, or she may have accidentally, muted
Uh,
us or
yeah.
what have you on her end. But when I tell you all the young lady that's
Okay. She
actually
says, yeah,
talking,
they can hear her.
thank you. Um, when I tell you that the young, can you hear us, Bree?
Uh, I
Bree,
had to take my headphones back out. Can you speak up some?
can you hear me now?
Look, hold on just 1 second.
Okay, okay, I'm glad that you all can hear us. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah, that's that sound we heard right before she could hear the last
Yep.
time.
Okay, I'm back now. I'm
Can you
back.
hear me now? Can you hear me now,
I
girl?
I can't, honey. It's just when I ain't got these headphones in, I struggle.
Girl, I understand. I
I
understand.
struggle.
And that is awesome about your friend, Elder Joanne. She was saying her girlfriend is almost 70 and she drives her mom around, and her mom is 93.
Mm.
So I'll be look. I hope I go up. Um, as Vanessa was saying that she was saying that you are so sweet. She really
Thank you.
is. This is genuinely how she is. But I also wanted to, want to deviate for just a second off of that topic, and I want to ask you all to listen to a situation that her family has actually endured. When you start talking about driving and being an advocate of different things, and there's a situation, and you'll see more about it on my page in the near future, where it's talking about justice for Amaya. You've heard her reference her little sister that was so encouraging to her when she was dealing with the bullies during homecoming. But unfortunately, Amaya was struck and killed by a person who did not stop at a bus stop um, when was she getting off of the bus or getting on the bus?
She was getting off of the bus.
Okay. And so the young lady, and this happened, what, about 5 years ago?
It happened
Right.
October 4th of 2016.
Yeah, so it's like, so the anniversary of when Amaya was killed um, just passed a few days ago. And justice still has not been served for this baby. So we wanted to not, we want to definitely talk about the things dealing with the albinism, but we just wanted to make you all aware of what's going on as it relates to, they are rallying because they really, really need justice for for baby girl. And I wanted to, and we'll hit it, in a different manner in the future, but just to kind of the give them a little bit of Amaya's story.
Um, well, on October the 4th, 2016, I was in my apartment and I was upstairs and I was studying because I had midterms that week. And around, I want to say maybe 4:10, between 4:07 and 4:10, um, I had gotten a phone call. And me being me, I had just got a new phone at the time, but my number was still the same. So I'm just like, okay, who is this? So I sat there and I sat there and I said, you know what? Answer the phone because it could be important. I answered, and the voice on the other line said, Amaya was just hit by a car and she's laying in the road and she's unconscious. Okay. Me being me, I had already had a long day at school. I was like, listen, do not play with me like this. This is not funny. This is not anything to joke about. She said, no, Shay, I'm serious. Amaya was hit by a car and she's laying in the road unconscious. And when I tell y'all my soul dropped, it dropped. The first thing I did was I started praying and I said, God, whatever you do, don't take her from me. Cause that's gonna hurt. Don't take that one piece away from me. Whatever you do, don't take her away from me, please. And I remember I called my stepfather, which is Amaya's father. I called him, and I remember I called my mom, and I didn't get an answer from Amaya's dad because I knew that he was in barber school at the time. So I knew that he was probably, cutting a head or something like that. And so he didn't answer, so I said, okay. So I called my mom. My mom didn't answer, so I'm like, okay. So I called my uncle. My uncle didn't answer. I'm like, Jesus, help me, please. So I called my grandmother. She didn't answer, but my grandfather called me back. And as soon as he answered the phone, I said, Granddaddy and Maya been hit by a car. Where y'all at? I need somebody to get to mommy. He said, well, darling, we out of town. I said, Granddaddy, no, no, no. I need somebody to get to my mama. I need somebody to get to my mama, and I need somebody to get to Matt, which is my brother who was with Amaya when she was killed. And so at that time, my mom is beeping in. And I said, hold on, this is mama. And I just hung up and I switched back over to my mom. And I said, Mommy, is she okay? Is she okay? She said, Baby, I don't know. She said, Baby, I don't think she gonna make it. And I said, Mama, don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. And she said, I'm finna get in the ambulance and I'm finna go to the hospital. I said, Mama, we're gonna get through this. I said, she's not gonna die. She's gonna be okay. I said, I love you. And I'm gonna be on my way there. I said, I don't care if I got to walk. I'm coming. Just, I'm coming. Just hold on till I get there. Got off the phone with my mama. At the time, I had two friends with me at my apartment. I'm standing at the top of my steps at my apartment and they're trying to keep me composed. Two more of my friends burst through my living room door. Now, at the time, I was looking a mess. And so they just started, one friend was like, go downstairs, go get in the car. They grabbed my phone, they grabbed chargers, shoes, they grabbed everything they could find of mine that day. And they went, and my friend told me, she said, Shay, we gonna get you to the hospital. We gonna get you there. And I'm talking about she was pushing that car to get me there. And I remember the young lady that called and told me Amaya had got hit. She had called me back and she said, Shay, and I could tell she had been crying. And she said, Shay, I'm so sorry this happened. I'm so sorry. I said, did y'all see anything? If y'all saw anything, tell me what happened. I don't care if y'all think it's gonna make me angry, because what's gonna make me angry is y'all knowing something and y'all just sitting there not speaking.
Okay,
I
now let
said,
me stop
what?
you because there's still things that we can and can't say right now. So I just want you to remember that part.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, I am. I'm not gonna take it too far. Um,
Okay.
and so I asked the question. I said, what color was she? What color was the lady that did this? She gave me my answer. I said, okay, that figures. I get to the hospital the same time Amaya's dad get to the hospital. Now, whenever we pulled up to the hospital, I didn't even let my friend stop her vehicle all the way. It was like I did a tuck and roll. I was trying to get in there because I wanted to know what was going on. When we got there, the lady wouldn't even let us. She wouldn't let me or Maya's dad in the hospital. She wouldn't let us in. So they had to literally tell her who we were and why we were there before she even let us in. I got in there and I just remember seeing my mama. I remember exactly what my mama had on and everything. I was trying to make light of the situation. I said, Mama, you could at least put your good wig on before you came out the house. And she looked at me, she said, I know what you're trying to do. She said, I know what you're trying to do. And she said, I appreciate it. And she looked at me, she said, Baby, she gone. And I said, Mama, don't tell me that. She not gone. She not gone. And I just remember, because it was some family members that was back there in the family room that rubbed me the wrong way that day. They rubbed me the wrong way anyway, but that day they really rubbed me the wrong way. How they were acting toward my mom in the situation. So I remember I walked out, and at the time, my friends that brought me to the hospital, they was in the waiting room. Some of my other family that I haven't seen in years was in the waiting room. Some of the people from the church was there. And at the time, when we were waiting on them to come back and tell me something, they were showing it on the news of what had happened. So it's all on the news while we're in the hospital. And and I remember I was talking and my friends was like, "Are you okay? Are you gonna be alright?" I said, "Yeah, I don't know." I said, I don't know what's going on with my sister. I hope she make it." So my auntie, she came back. She said, "Now my family called me. Some of my family called me Shay. Some call me Bree. Some call me Brisha, which is part of my first name." My aunt came back. She said, "Brisha." She said, "It's not looking too good, baby." She said, "It's not. It's not looking too good." And I just remember I was sitting there and I just started praying. And I said, God, please, 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 whatever you do, don't take my sister from me.
Because she was 8 years old, right?
She was 7. Her birthday
That was
was
she was
that
about to
her
turn 8.
yeah, she was about to turn 8.
Okay.
And I remember I went in the bathroom and I put some water on my face. And I walked out the bathroom because I was trying to keep myself from crying. And I walked out the bathroom and I remember I was sitting in a little waiting area. And my auntie walked up to me and my auntie had tears in her eyes. I was just like, what's going on? And she looked at me, she shook her head. No. She just shook her head. And I remember the scream that came from my mama sent chills down my spine. And it was like I was so broken. Because I was like, how could this happen? Why did this happen? Why didn't she stop?
That
Why? That was my only question that I had. Why? Why my sister? Not that I would want this to happen to any child, because I would not, but why my sister? I had so many things that I wanted to do. I had so many trips that I wanted to take with her. We had planned out my whole entire wedding because she just knew I was going to marry Demetrius. And it's just like, why? Why her? Why were you not paying attention? And I just remember I went and I hugged my mama because they had to put my mama in a wheelchair because my mama couldn't stand up anymore. Miss D, I have to take my headphones out because my battery percentage is low on my phone. But I'm so scared I'm not gonna be able to hear y'all if
Well,
I
what
take
I
them
will
out.
do, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let everybody know that what no, she didn't run a stop sign. She completely ignored a stopped bus, which
Mm-hmm.
extended.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually have a part two with Bree and hopefully with her mother and their legal counsel because we don't want anything to mess up whatever they may have to do legally. So what we're gonna do is we're going to um, I wanted to really let her kind of share her story uh, to let everybody know what we're gonna be really pushing. So and to ask for everyone's help when you start seeing different things that says justice for Amaya, it's because after 5 years, justice still has not been served for this baby or this family. And we are trying to use our platform to try to get as much of a push behind this situation for them because pressure brings about a change. Pressure brings about a change, and so, but I really wanted to let her kind of hit her story, Amaya's story, a little bit, and you will see more about Amaya on this thing's page and my personal page and Key may share a few things here and there whenever Bree posts or whatever the case may be so that we can get justice for this family. But since her phone is actually going, her battery life is going a little low, we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and move toward wrapping up everything at this point. But was there anything in particular that you wanted to say real quick so that your phone doesn't die on you as it relates to the albinism or dealing with Amaya?
Yes, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for once again giving me this opportunity. Um, as far as the albinism thing goes, I would just like for people to furthermore educate themselves on what it is. Because being an albino, it is, I understand being black is not easy. I understand being white is not easy. But when you are an albino, we go through many things on the daily. A lot of us have health issues. A lot of us have a hard time being in relationships and having friendships. A lot of us have a hard time with a lot of different things that we don't speak about, such as self esteem and different things of their area. So I would just like for people to honestly educate themselves on what it is like to be an albino. Well, educate themselves on albinism. Um, and if you don't know albino, get to know one. We're very nice people, and we're so
Y'all right,
lovable.
y'all right.
And as far as the thing goes about my sister, there is a petition that you can go sign. I'm gonna send that to Miss D, and I'm gonna let her post that on her page. Um, if anybody would like to know what they can do, just continue to pray. Pray for our family and pray that Amaya gets justice real soon because a lot of incidents like this have continued to happen after Amaya, and I feel like because an example was not made out of Amaya's case, and until it is, it's going to continue to happen. People are going to continue to lose their children due to other reckless driving. You can't control what another vehicle does, but you can control what your vehicle do and what you do behind the wheel of said vehicle that you are in, that you are driving. Also, to all my young ladies out there, whether you're albino or not, if you have siblings, especially a younger sister, love her. Take trips with her, do things with her, because every day that I don't have mine, I miss her, and I wish that I would have did more with her and made more memories. And I just thank y'all for giving me this opportunity. Oh wait, also I am, like I said, I'm a business owner. Um, I have a clothing line that's going to be dropping next year. The Justice for Maya clothing line is going to be dropping next year, and I'm doing a clothing line called Albinism, which is self-explanatory, I hope. But thank you for the opportunity.
And you will be seeing more about that.
Mm-hmm.
You will
I will.
definitely be seeing more about her clothing line as well.
I will.
But yeah, but thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you for coming. We appreciate you for sharing your story and for sharing Amaya's story. And I'm not gonna ask my sister to say anything because she's really full because of your story. And
Mm-hmm.
so we appreciate you. We love you. And we thank each and every one of you that joined us today on this thing called life. And next week, we're going to probably delve into some things that are pretty spicy because this morning it was kind of messing with me when I was thinking about, being blood but not related. Yeah, being blood but not related. Not family. Not family. Not related. Family. But yes, um there are so many lessons in her story that we can glean. Thank you for sharing and teaching. That was one of the comments said to you. And then Shantae says, God bless you and your family, sending positive and healing energy to you and your family. And Kiana says, and I hope I'm saying that,
Kiona.
Kiona, I'm sorry. Well, we have so many
I
Kianas
know.
in our life. Kiona, please forgive me for mispronouncing your name the whole show.
I
Um,
didn't even catch it until just now.
she said powerful.
Absolutely.
She said powerful.
Thank
So
you
thank
all.
you, Bree. I appreciate you. Love you, love you, love
Love
you.
you.
And
Bye.
bye baby. And you have a good one. And we'll see you all next week on this thing called life. Take care.